Dokkan just did something that I would have never expected them to do. And today it's something we have to talk about because it's one of my favorite things to do on this channel. And the thing they did, of course, is make this roadmap for us. They gave us an entire outline of the entire 10th anniversary, which currently we only have 3 of the units in there, except guess what? That's not true. Boom. We also have the super easy A's for both Vegito and Buhan. Likely you've seen that. They officially announced them. But before we attempt to fill out the rest of this chart, because that's exactly what we're doing here today, we need to present the 4 rules that they presented to us in the actual live stream. First rule, for part 2 of the anniversary, we know that 1 unit will be a Dokkan Fest and 2 units will be Carnival LRs, because yes, if you didn't see it, even for part 2, we're getting 3 more LRs. Second rule, and this one's insane. They told us the Dokkan Fest is the miraculous power born from the strongest duo. And one of the Carnival units is a family unit, and one of the Carnival units is a rival unit. Third rule, and really important here, this map that we're looking at, this sort of chart to fill out, isn't just summonable unit. This includes Extreme Z Awakened units, Super Extreme Z Awakened units, and even though it doesn't say it down there with the little asterisks, it does say includes new characters. But Ken said in the live stream, this does include event characters. That is directly from his mouth. So non-summonable new characters are also included on this. Then there's the 4th rule, and this one wasn't actually said on the live stream, but if you pay close enough attention to this roadmap, you'll notice it pretty quickly. And that is that there are some boxes that are smaller and some boxes that are bigger. Now, specifically, there are 22 slots here on this page. 10 of them are big slots, 12 of them are small slots. Now, with the info we were given and the fact that the 3 new summonable units are here and they are bigger, that gives us the idea that all of the bigger slots are an indication of a new unit and the smaller slots are the indication of an EZA, which is why I have slotted both Buhan and Vegito into those 2 slots, and those are smaller slots here for the Majin Buu Saga section of this page. And then a bonus rule here, which I think is important before you try to dive in yourselves and fill this out. First off, have you liked the video yet? And secondly, we know that there are 10 new characters here. 3 of them have been filled in for us because they are the LRs that were announced. 3 more of them are the part 2 LRs. That leaves 4 slots. 2 of those LRs are Dokkan Fest. What do we know about Dokkan Fests? They have side banner units. So that takes up 2 more of the slots, leaving us with just 2 left. And those 2 should be a free-to-play LR that has the new tag switch mechanic, because they always give us a free-to-play LR each anniversary that has the new sort of gimmick of that anniversary, and then also a free-to-play TUR. Last year it was the first form Frieza, which we do know them now, but more on that when we get to them. Let's fill these in. So I'm going to start off with what I think are non-negotiables. This slot in GT, I fully believe is an EZA, is a smaller slot, and we have 2 characters here that I just will not budge on, and I think have to be here, and it's those 2. Those 2 are here. It is their year. They're going to EZA. They are definitely 2 of our slots here. These to me are just completely non-negotiable, and there is just no way they're not here. Next up, let's move to Saiyan Saga. Another 2 that feels so incredibly obvious. Boom, boom. They are smaller boxes, so we do have this indication that they are EZAs, and even more so than just looking at the actual box size, it just matches up too well, because guess who they are? Oh, that's right. It's the part 2 7th anniversary LRs as well. It is such a perfect setup for them to still have representation from all the different sagas and all the different anime and stuff, while also still just being able to do them in a time slot that does make sense. That would then bring us to the Planet Namek Saga section, which again, these 2 are smaller boxes, should presumably be EZAs, and also line up, because guess what? Was Worldwide 2021, which also should be EZA'd here. Yeah, that's right. Somehow the Int Namek Goku and the AGL Frieza are up for their EZA. Last year, the EX sort of step to the 9th anniversary were the EZAs for Buhan and for Vegito. So again, even before having this roadmap, we presumed all the characters I put here, well, okay, maybe not the Saiyan Saga units. I don't know that we all just guessed those, but it makes sense to include them here now with this roadmap. But even prior to that, we knew LR SSJ4s, LR Super Saiyan Gods, and the Planet Namek Saga units from Worldwide 2021 would EZA here because it's just what they've done for years. Next up, we're not actually going to Android/Cell Saga, because let's go to the other 2 that I think are non-negotiables. And that is popping up a little Super EZA image. Guys, I wonder who could this be? Oh, that's right. Gogeta and Janemba. I think it just makes sense. They're not necessarily the next in line to Super EZA. They know how iconic the 1st anniversary is to all of us old Dokkan heads, so why would they not do it here? So to me, these feel non-negotiable. I feel like right now the board is a 100% lock. If you have disagreements, I would love to hear it down below in the comment section, but to me, this right here feels like the most locked in thing possible, and I just don't see see how we get on the other side of the 10th anniversary, and all these things haven't happened. The most interesting of the EZAs to me personally are the next ones we're talking about and the final ones on the board, because after these, it's all new characters. It's all new character predictions. But are the androids in Cell Saga EZA? So the first thing that came into mind, and there are several, if you start looking at that particular category, that are definitely up or what I feel like are within range. But to me, I think there are two that scream the most potential, and I feel like they're trying to go out with, not out because it's not like the end of the game, but I feel like they're trying to like really just slam it down on the table and say, hey, we're here. So I think these two make the most sense. With that said, I'm putting them here for now. I also want to present to you guys another potential outcome here, and that is this, because I do think they'll want to help out villains as much as they possibly can. And again, based on the info that we have about all 6 LRs, none of them are likely villains. There's like tiny chance maybe, but I've seen a lot of people throw around the ideas if one of the Majin Buu Saga slots could be Kid Buu, but Kid Buu to me is not a rival. He's definitely not family, and he isn't a miraculous duo. So to me, Kid Buu is not here. So I think the way they sort of try to fill out the villain slots are through the EZA specifically. And right now, if it were to go down this route, it'd be pretty even, because we would get 1 with Vegeta, 2 with Frieza, 3 with the truly already announced Buhan, 4 with Janemba, 5 with the droids, and 6 with the Super Zeon Cell. This would be a tremendous help to the villain side, and that's the only reason I'm thinking like this. But I still think they're just going to try to slam it on the table and then do the other. But for now, to move on, we'll just leave it like these. I will say as one last little just like, ooh, I wonder, just to be a little cheeky, they could do this and this. They could do that too. So again, if you really look at the Android Cell Saga category, there are a lot of units they could do, but I don't want to spend too much time here. I'm going to go ahead and leave it to move on like this. So now we are to all the new characters. Let's start first with this slot down here, and we're going to make this our Majin Buu Saga side banner unit. I feel like there are 2 characters, because there's been a lot of Majin Buu Saga characters lately that really haven't been touched, and that definitely need new units specifically. And that is either a TN. I really think that this could be a side banner TN, or a Supreme Kai. I think I'm going to leave mine purposely on Supreme Kai. I think he has a higher chance. What did we get? 1 or 2 Kais last year that were not specifically Supreme Kai. And this would also mirror the brother game Legends, because when we got a Vegito for 6th anniversary, guess who was the side banner unit? You can see him right there. That is literally the card art from the Legends version of him. So I think they'll mirror themselves, and they will go ahead and do this. This is our first 100% lock on the board. I think TN is possible, but I'm locking in Supreme Kai. Now, that does leave us with 6 remaining slots, 4 of which we know are for these summonable units from Part 2 of the anniversary, and the other 2 being the free-to-play LR and the free-to-play TUR. Now, if I told you what is this, a video in a video, that I already recorded the remainder of this video and am now re-recording it because they just dropped a bombshell of information on us, would you believe me? Well, you should, because that's literally a video uploaded to YouTube that you're currently not watching, and that has different predictions that you won't see, because Air Dokkan hit us with this. Well, this was actually from Global Dokkan. They dropped basically puzzle pieces that were the free-to-play units, and it is a free-to-play Trunks and a free-to-play Demon King Piccolo. Now, with the info that we know with what they do with anniversaries, let's go ahead, let's place our DKP in here. Let's place our Goten as well. By the way, didn't have to get a new asset. I won't lie, didn't have DKP on here. I didn't, because I believed in something, which I will tell you guys in just a moment, but I did believe in a Goten and Trunks, because we know that the free-to-play LR has to have the mechanics, or that doesn't have to, but it, generally speaking, all the years past, when they introduce a new mechanic, they also give it to you for free. Last year, Sleepy Beerus had the target all mechanic, so you would presume that they would give us one. So with that knowledge, even though they didn't give us the distinction between what DKP would be and what the Trunks would be, DKP can't have a tag switch. Like, who's he tagging into? He could have other mechanics, but he can't have the tag switch mechanic. That makes the most sense with a silhouette of a Trunks doing a fusion dance. So it will likely be a Goten plus Trunks unit that then can do some sort of fusion dance into Gotenks. That all makes sense, and that was always there. So these 2 are solidified. These are actually 100% locks. So let's go ahead, let's put our label on this, and let's put our label on this. Those are your 2 free characters, meaning they just made things so much easier in terms of where would placements go. We have 4 slots left, which are the 4 summonable units. Now, I do want to do something out of pure raw respect. Let's just pull this away. Let's bring this forward. I believe so badly that we would get a Carnival LR from Dragon Ball. Now, I also did have a free-to-play LR in here too. Mine was this. I thought they might do this because, again, if it was going to be a free-to-play LR, then it has to have the tag switch mechanic, and this could have a tag switch mechanic. However, that's not what happened, so there's no reason to waste any more time on it. I just wanted it to be known on record that this was already made several days ago, and I did believe in the possibility of a Carnival LR from Dragon Ball. But that now does leave us with the 4 summonable units. That's all we have to predict. So now with this as a lock and them actually giving us this info, it does make it a lot less of this possibility and that possibility, because when you're trying to determine where the 3 slots for the LRs are going to go and you don't know what they would do with OG Dragon Ball, and I was a believer that they could be a Carnival LR, it does make things a little more clear, because now you know that this can't be one of the Carnival slots. You know that these 3 sections are the LRs. And I do believe the size of boxes matter. I've seen a lot of people trying to say, well, maybe they don't. I think they do, because I think too much of this just lines up with what we would have already thought they would do with the anniversary. So bringing these in and knowing what we know, again, family unit, rival unit, I do think they can always be a little bit cheeky, and it could be 2 family units, by the way, which will come into play as we start laying these out. Let's start first with the Cell Saga. I do think this will be a Carnival. And obviously, like, where is the side banner unit here? I think that this could go multiple ways. I really want to lock in what I do believe it will be, and that is a family unit. Guys, Goku into obviously Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. This is a unit that I think people have been asking for an incredibly long time. And I do have one more option for this section. I originally had this as a full-on lock and I wasn't going to budge, but simply because now that we know that Dragon Ball can't be an LR, it makes the other theories that many people have had a little more interesting. So let's go ahead. Let's present what most people think will be in this Dragon Ball Z section, which is also what I thought immediately too upon seeing it. Super Gogeta. Everyone thinks Super Gogeta is here. I have thought Super Gogeta was here until you start putting all the puzzle pieces together. Now I'm going to leave him here, but realistically speaking, the only thing that makes sense for this is a Carnival. Now I have, obviously, you guys know me. I like to make different situations. So I've come here prepared to make these different situations possible. But let's just keep running through this right now, which would mean taking this Carnival banner away and actually putting a Dokkan Fest logo right here and putting a Carnival logo over here. Because again, I think this is the only way that you get a Super Gogeta here personally, because Miraculous Duo, like, I don't think you're getting Super Gogeta and then also other stuff we're about to talk about. And for, I think, this to happen, obviously I'm making this slot down here our side banner unit. I think that is going to stay. That is our side banner unit pretty much no matter what. But the only way is if they do this. I don't know how else it makes sense for Super Gogeta to be the Dokkan Fest and for him to have a cyber unit. I've seen some people literally, they want to believe that Super Gogeta is it so badly that they're saying, what if they're just not doing a cyber unit for the Dokkan Fest? And I'm like, you believe so badly that this is what's going to happen that you would throw away the fact that there's just not going to be a cyber unit for the Dokkan Fest? Well, yeah, but it's 3 LRs. It's the TOP banner and then this. And I'm like, well, let's just go back and look at the previous times where we used to get top banners all the time. When they had the top banners that were there, did the Dokkan Fest have side banner units? Oh, that's right, they did. I'm like, so you want to believe so badly this one thing's going to happen that you're throwing away the true tradition of a side banner unit with a Dokkan Fest. I'm like, what? Like, no, dog. Like, I'm sorry. The side banner unit, I believe, will be here for Dokkan Fest. There's like maybe a 5% chance that is the way they go. But then who fills out these slots? Are you giving out more EZAs? Like, what are we doing? You know, so I believe a side banner unit will be here. And I think that in the world that Super Gogeta is here from the Dragon Ball Z movie selection, this is how they do it. A part of me almost believes though that this Gogeta will be our Super Gogeta representation for the anniversary and it will not be him. A part of me, but not totally. Obviously, I wouldn't have put him in here. I wouldn't have taken the time to build all this out and do all these things and make this video if I didn't believe that this was a possibility, which means this would be my rivals unit. So family, miraculous power born from the most powerful duo, and then rivals. So there you go. That fills in our 3 slots, and this is absolutely, I believe, a possibility that we could see. I'm saying this because then people would be like, well, that wasn't your final. Yeah, but I wouldn't have done it if I didn't believe it was a thing that could happen. Now let's play a little switch up, okay? So I do think this is one possibility, but let's switch things up just a little bit here. Okay, so we've gone back to I've left Goku here for now. He's staying, but I've made the switch to having the Dragon Ball Z movies be the Carnival and the Dokkan Fest back over in the Dragon Ball Super section, which I think makes the most sense. Now I will say, I want to get this out of the way as well, because I guess this could be a possibility. So let's bring back Gogeta and let's bring back Goku and Frieza. So I also think this could be a possibility. For me, I was like, what could be a side banner unit for Goku and Frieza? There's a few here, but I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to go Hit, because I think Hit could be like a really cool side banner unit for them. Now, why does this even make sense? And I was not a believer in this until I had a conversation with Minato on Twitter, and that's because of this. So the whole thing here is miraculous power born from the strongest duo. Again, because they like to be cheeky sometimes. Let's look at the only existing Goku and Frieza card. Miraculous outcome. Their passive, miraculous cooperation. Their 18 key, Miracle of Universe 7. So with all those things in mind, I have seen some people think that this could be the Dokkan Fest. I don't think it is. I put it in here, so I believe there's a small chance. I don't think it is because I think that when they redo this unit, 17 will be involved in some way. This unit turns 7 years old this year. 7 years old at Worldwide this year. That's crazy. So when they finally do this unit again, I think 17 will be involved, but I could see this as an outcome. So that's why it is here. I don't believe in it. So because I didn't get to show him because I thought he might be a free-to-play T-War, I just want to show this here. I do think Candy Vegito could show up somewhere, so he might be the side bear unit for Super Vegito. Anyway, just a fun little add-in. But if they don't do Super Gogeta in Dragon Ball Z movies, they could go a few different ways. But this is one that I actually believe is possible, and that is a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. We have not seen this Bojack movie Gohan in a very long time. I think it is truly a possibility. Double Gohan sounds crazy because obviously this Goku would also be coming to that. The rivals aspect of this is a little like... and that's why I said they could be just a little bit cheeky with it. It's just when you take Super Gogeta away from the Dragon Ball Z movie section, the movie section gets a little weird because we just had a Worldwide full of cooler related things. So I don't think it would be anything to do with that. Like those units haven't even EZA'd yet. So you take away the cooler movies, you then obviously take away the Broly movies because we just had a huge celebration about Broly. So those are out too. You're down a lot. Like you're down a lot of options because then we already have so much representation from all the other movies. And granted, this Gohan is represented. He's just old at this point. Rudagon and SSJ3 Goku isn't that old either. And there are some other options, but we'll talk about that in a second. I just want to fill this out. So I think that this could be something that we see. And if you're like, well, yeah, but 2 Gohans, they wouldn't do that. There's literally 2 Vegetas. You can't totally see it right now because this Vegeta is represented here, but he's not here. But this is a Vegeta unit. This is a tag Goku, tag Vegeta. There's a option where he will just be a true raw Vegeta unit. It is literally 2 Vegetas and 2 Gokus represented. So there's literally nothing that could say they can't just do 2 Gohans. But then it gets to the interesting stuff. So obviously, I think most of you know where I'm going with this, is a blue fusion. Now, if they did a Vegito, I do believe the side bear unit would be a Trunks. I think this makes the most sense because the last time he was here in Worldwide 2023, which was a year and a half ago. People keep saying it just happened. It was a year and a half. I know in the world, Dokkan 10 years, like that's not that long, but it's a year and a half ago, dog. Like they could do it. And so Mai was his side bear unit back then. So why not make it Trunks this time? It also could be like a Rage Trunks. I just Trunks, you know, this is just my picture. It could be any form of Trunks from DBS. But I do think that this is a very real outcome. This is your miraculous power born from the strongest duo. My biggest thing and my argument on Twitter, well, I will budge. I do think somehow in some weird way, Goku and Frieza could fit into this, but I fully believe, I'm standing my ground, that I think this means it's the strongest duo section. To me, Frieza and Goku are not the strongest duo. They weren't even in the TOP. Like Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue Evolution is stronger, and like in his peak is stronger than Frieza in TOP. Argue with me on that, I don't care. So to me, strongest duo just really sounds like a fusion. They just basically confirm fusion without it being there. So I think it is Super Gogeta or Vegito Blue, or before I change anything here, Gogeta Blue. I know he was last year's unit, but the thing is, if Gogeta is not here, okay? This game really likes Gogetas. You can see it based on the EZA with this guy, the EZA with the STR Vegeta last year versus the Tech Gogeta. Like, they are very Gogeta biased. Vegito has never had a double anniversary just around him. And so that's why I would love to see. By the way, let's just fill out my side banner unit here just so it can be seen. I think they do a Broly. I think they make it a Broly. It would buff super bosses. You know, like you know what I'm saying? Now, the one thing that I could see someone argue is the simple fact that this just says super and has nothing to do with movies, and this would be specifically movie characters, but the EZA for the gods is basically a lock. It's a lock. Like, there's no world that we are on the other side of 10th anniversary and the SSJ4s and the Super Saiyan gods have an EZA. So the simple fact that these guys fit into this, whether it be a small box, big box, who cares? Like, they're gonna be here somewhere. I think that they didn't make the distinction for movies. I do think if you made me pick, I think it would be the VB over Gogeta Blue, simply because I think they would probably want to right the wrong. I don't care how y'all guys see it. The transformation conditions for that double Vegito unit from Worldwide was god awful. Okay, when you got into Vegito, he's really cool. but the Goku and Vegeta unit section of them were stinky. I didn't like that unit that much, even on release. But then I remember the bias in this game for Gogeta and the simple fact that you already have Vegeta representation in part 1. Why not have Gogeta representation in part 2? And the simple thing where people are like, yeah, but he was just last year's anniversary. Okay, what stopped them? 7th anniversary was SSJ4 Vegeta with an SSJ4 Goku. 8th anniversary was an SSJ4 Vegeta with a base Goku. They have done things in the past that have presented to you guys that literally say, like, we don't really care. Like, they don't care about that. They do not care. And this would be a much substantially different unit because it would be a tag. Yet I'm only showing the Gogeta here, but this is actually a tag blue Vegeta and blue Goku, completely different. So I think this is absolutely one outcome here. I do want to make one last change to this entire section. I will go ahead and I'll bow down off of Gogeta blue and we'll go back to the Vegito. So here we go. But I'm going to make one final change. I want to present to you guys something I've not seen. I don't know that I've seen anyone say this. And it's probably, this might be because I'm so Vegeta pilled. What if we do this, you know? It's not like, so that would be the rivals section. And then what if we did this? That's a DBZ movie. I think this could really happen. I didn't present them here. They're not here, but I do think that the blues from Resurrection F could be here. It could be. I don't think they would. I think if they were going to revisit either Battle of Gods or Resurrection F, it is going to be Battle of Gods. It's going to be a Super Saiyan God Goku. And so I would presume that you would probably put this Vegeta under a rival section, like what most Vegetas are under, worthy rivals. Literally, that's their whole thing. So it could absolutely be a new Super Vegeta, an LR. They haven't made that character in 4 years. He was a 2021 unit. Super Saiyan God Goku is just about 2 years old. So he's more than up and ready to, you know, do something unique as an LR and change things up. And then you'd have Vegeta, which is your Miraculous. So you literally do still have rivals, family. This would be family because that's how they like they literally come together as a family to make him become a Super Saiyan God. And then you'd have your miraculous power born from the strongest duo. I do believe in some way here we've nailed all the characters. I'm gonna go ahead and change this back, and then because I just really believe in their bias to Gogeta. It's just because of their bias to Gogeta. I think it could be this. I really feel like this is a very real possibility. And as much as I want Super Gogeta to be here, to be that counterpart to Vegito, I think they kind of just told us it's not happening. I'm not saying that my side banner unit, DBS related side banner unit to Super Gogeta isn't a possibility. And I'm not also saying that a Carnival Super Gogeta isn't a possibility. But my gut tells me that Goku and Frieza are not the miraculous duo unit. It is going to be a fusion. So if Goku and Frieza are here, they are a Carnival LR. They are not the Dokkan Fest. And given the fact that they literally gave us a roadmap and you're having to go through so many hoops to make Super Gogeta work now as the Dokkan Fest, I don't think it's him anymore, man. And I do think they would want some blue representation here. It's the newest sort of transformation for them that isn't going above and beyond to the UI and SSBE, which is also already represented. So I just think that the blue fusions are here. I think it just points to that so much. So I really think it's one of them. And because I want to believe in a Bye Guys Goku so bad, I'm leaving him on here too. Okay, and one final prediction that I do genuinely believe could happen. So we have our family LR. I feel like this is such a lock. I included Super Vegeta just kind of like a funny 1% chance thing. I feel like Goku Gohan is the Carnival Android Cell Saga unit. I do believe that in like my heart of hearts. And while I really do believe a blue fusion is probably here, because of the iconicness of Vegito, let's bring him back. Sorry, not Vegito, but Gogeta. Super Gogeta with a Super Vegito. Just that 3rd anniversary, first ever Dokkan Fest LR. There's like some iconicness to that. So let's say they go with that. So we have our family unit. We have our miraculous fusion unit, miraculous powerful duo unit. Then we could have a Carnival, but it isn't Goku and Frieza. There is another character it could definitely be, and that's a Orange Piccolo, because he would be a rival. Of course, the same thing could be said for Super Saiyan God Goku. He's not on worthy rivals, but him and Beerus is on worthy rivals. So him and Beerus could be considered like a rival unit, so they could still do Goku as the family unit, Super Saiyan God Goku as the rival unit, and then the miraculous crazy fusion unit could be Gogeta Blue or something still. But on the off chance that it ends up being still Super Gogeta, let's bring him back. It ends up being, say, Orange Piccolo is one of the Carnival units, and that's your rivals. Let's bring that back. And then a side banner unit, Gogeta, that then make sense to have a side banner for the Dokkan Fest. It could also be this. I do feel like one of the scenarios has has been shown here in this video. I know I did several, but I think a lot of it still stayed well within the possibilities of what we could see, and nothing to me feels that far out there. Orange Piccolo, what exactly about that feels crazy? You know what I mean? Most of these things, I'd say the only thing that most of you guys probably are like, what, would be Super Vegeta, but it was just trying to fill in that rival spot, and Vegeta units are rivals. So there you go. I do believe I'll tweet this out. We'll see what people think, but I think this is going to be my final. I think it'll be one of the things we nailed. That's why I made a video on it and didn't just tweet out a picture, because I think we got things right here. It's just in which way do the puzzle pieces connect. I think at some point you take a screenshot from this video and you've got it right. It's just which section of the video was right. I would love to see what you guys are thinking for the 10th anniversary part 2, as well as the other characters here down below in the comment section. And if you looking for more content right here on this channel, you can click right here on this video, hit that like button for me, subscribe to be here for all the 10th anniversary content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if I don't see you before then, best of luck on your 10th anniversary summons. Bye.